Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. I am here with infamous Cole, the Empress. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me again.
Yes,
Hello, everybody.
yes. So, we were talking about healing last time, and we would love to elaborate more on what we can do, what you can do when it comes to healing. So, kick back, relax, and let's get this party started. So, when it comes to healing, how can the person start their own mindset to allow healing to come in?
I think first a person needs to be aware that there needs to be some type of healing that needs to take place by, the patterns that they're going through in relationships, um, understanding what's triggering them, understanding that there's an issue overall of what needs to be healed. So it's definitely doing some self reflecting.
Okay. I remember when I was transitioning from the bad boy lifestyle. I wanted to be a better person, and I did not really know which way to go as far as direction. But there were my friends, my core friends that I had, and I knew I wanted to change. And I went to them and I was like, hey, let's walk away from this lifestyle and become better members of society and do what's right and get jobs and everything else. And although they laughed at me so well, that evening I actually cried. Like, I was wailing because part of me felt that since we're all friends and we're all like a, one unit, we do everything together, right?
Right.
But at that moment I was alone. And so here I am, like, I'm just like tears just running down my face, that deep cry. And as I look back, that cry meant like it was a shedding of myself. Like, it was a shedding of what I needed to walk away from. It was like releasing, all of these things, you know. But going through it, I did not know that that's what it meant, but that I would have to be alone, to do this. It's one thing to want to have my friends be part of it, to heal with me. Let's do it together. Let's powwow and do it together. But the healing comes from self first. Like, you have to put yourself through it first and by yourself, and then once you shed all that stuff off, whatever the reasons of why you need to let go and heal, you will walk into your essence of healing.
I agree. I agree. I think as far as like self healing, you went through situations with your friends. Of course, we always would like someone to heal with us or to go through a process, whatever it is. It's like an activity of going out or something. You want someone to be there with you. But when you really realize that there's an issue with yourself, you do have to kind of sit back, like you said from our last video, sitting back and observing your root issues, what is causing you to continue this pattern, what makes you feel this way, realizing your surroundings,
Yeah.
making a change because you realize that there has to be some type of change for a better outcome. Um, Looking at the ugliest parts of yourself, that you know that you need to change because of the patterns that you're going through. So, like, for instance, with me, like in a relationship, if you're continuously seeing that same pattern, then there's something there that needs to change.
Well, like the example I just gave, right? So, to be more specific, I was I was affiliated, as the bad boy gang member slash thing. So, in that lifestyle, what when I look back, like, why did I need to be affiliated?
What made you want to change, though?
Ooh, that's a good question. I was facing prison. I was facing being dead. I was facing all of these different obstacles. I was not healthy, and a part of me felt like, okay, I need to stop this. I need to walk away, stop it, and just change. And even though I didn't have anyone I could look up to change, or to follow me, I just knew I had to within my own self, you know. And it was a foreign language. I wanted my friends to change with me, and they just were not in that same space, you know. And man,
And then, of course, you do have to separate yourself from the same people that you've been around, conducting in the same bad activities. Because if you continue in that same light, you're going to continue the same patterns.
yes,
So you do have to separate yourself in order to heal from whatever vices that you have in your life.
yeah. And I was just looking. I was thinking back, like, what made me want to be affiliated with that lifestyle. And I think one of it for me was acceptance, because when I came to this country, I was not accepted by the quote unquote good kids or better kids or whatever else. Just these two guys that were affiliated, with the gang. And before you know it, I'm doing that. But I did not know how that was disruptive and destructive to another human being. When I look at, me mean mugging and looking at somebody, how that was actually attacking someone and taking from somebody. So now I'm inflicting fear and possibly pain to somebody else, or as a man looking at the woman, as in that lifestyle, I'm looking at her as an object opposed to looking at her as a person. So and that's just me reflecting and looking back. So when I look at those things, I think my inner self that wanted to change, and wanted to heal from, I guess, feeling accepted, wanting to be accepted. I had to go through some changes. Like I had to, how could I stand on my own without needing somebody else's acceptance? And so, but I did not see it until after I changed. So I had to go through the process of change first. So when I look back after the change, where I can see somebody of a different gang that I'm supposed to be mean mugging, I could look at them and smile, and be like, hey, how are you, and give them a hug. And if I see someone of the same gang, and I can still be like, hey man, how are you? Opposed to doing the dap, reverting back to those ways because I see them. I was able to not need their approval and acceptance anymore, and just move forward and operate in this newness of myself, and so I was able to heal properly from walking away from that. But it took me having to be strong within myself to step into a world of the unknown,
Right.
and now that I am who I am today, I know one day I'm going to shed from this part and even elevate to a higher level. What would that look like? I don't know, but I do like it.
I like that. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
With you changing the lifestyle, did you have any negative feedback from your friends that you were around? I mean, when you were in this process of changing?
Oh yeah. I mean, for them, they were just expressing themselves, but to me, it hurt a lot. So, like, for example, one guy, he had like two girls on each arm, like, girls, what? You know what I'm saying? And laughing at me. And that hurt, Now, I'm supposed to be this tough guy, right? I'm supposed to be this strong guy and be like, but no, I was serious about this change, right? But they couldn't see it, they were just all laughing at me. And I removed myself and walked away and crying. Here I am, a big man, or a big gangster man, crying. It was just running down. So yeah, sometimes people will say things that they say and not knowing how their words can impact you. But it will definitely impact you and test you to see if you're strong enough to make that adjustment, to heal. People will laugh at you. People will, just throw your past back in your face and be like, yeah, right. and they'll say things because they're using your past right in front of you and pretty much saying that they don't believe that you can change,
Right.
you know. So, yeah.
I know within my experience of going through my processes of healing, I had to remove myself from everyone. Um, Pretty much being in hermit mode of just self reflecting on myself, my issues that I've had, looking at my repeated patterns once again. Also realizing that the people that I was with or would surround myself with really didn't have no good intentions for me. So, with me allowing myself to deal with the negative talk or even drinking, I'm not going to sit here and say that I got a big problem with drinking, but I have in my past of drinking, I guess maybe when I'm in my feelings. Wanting to forget my problems or whatnot. I just know when you're in the processes of healing, you need to look at a lot of your addictive ways of if it's drugs, alcohol, sex, eating. I got that problem too, eating food. Like, oh yeah,
Yes.
binge eating,
Yeah.
Just looking at all your patterns of what kind of makes you feel worse off, because a lot of these things, drinking would make me feel like worse the next day. Actually, it's getting like 2 days now to where it's a longer recovery. I feel worser than I did before I had even started drinking. Binge eating, of course, that's not helping around my waist. um, just looking at all the destructive things that we do to ourselves
Yeah.
when we are going through the moments of having issues in our life. If it's with loved ones, if it's in a relationship, if it's your job, there's a lot of unhealthy things that we do that kind of damages ourselves, and
Yeah.
not even really knowing that we're causing this havoc on our own body and mind and relationships to even try to move forward with. If you're not happy with yourself, how can you make someone else happy?
Absolutely. That's so true. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think once you identify with whatever it is that has hurt you or with the pain that you might carry, and you know within yourself that you want to make an adjustment, you want to make that change. Yes, that's when it's like you got to weigh the pros and cons on both sides. You know, I know for me, being affiliated with the gangs and that whole thing and living that lifestyle of slanging and everything else, the benefits was like the power that I had, or the money I made, and or the access to women, and all of those things. Those were that mindset, my benefits, of that. And what was the cons from it? Well, either could be dead, in prison, just getting a ticket or anything. There's all these different negatives, hurting, families and things, through my actions. But then looking at the pros of wanting to change and the cons of wanting to change, to heal, right? It needed to outweigh the pros of of staying in that situation that's not healthy, because I think sometimes we battle, if we should make a change or not, because there's a lot of benefits in staying where you are, and not healing. Don't
Because
want
you
to
have the
heal.
comfortability, because you're there, you've been there, that's all you know.
Yes,
There was a reason why you went to the gangs.
yes,
That was
right.
like your family.
Right. So when I changed, when I decided to walk away from that lifestyle and then look at the pros from it, the fact that I can look at a woman and she's not an object, that's a plus for me, that she is a woman, right? And at the same time, she's a woman with purpose, and she's a woman with value, and she's just, that I can look at a man And I don't have to mean mug. I can look at him with love. I can look at him with respect. I can look at him with a kind energy and be like, hello, how are you? Great to see you, and that I mean it, like it comes off like I mean it. I can look at the fact that yes, I might not be making that fast cash anymore, but what can I do to make my fast cash? Or well, not necessarily fast cash, but innocent cash, respectable cash. So by me selling food to the community or whatever, going to different businesses and selling food and stuff like that, I'm making my money. So I'm able to make my ends meet, and I look at how I don't have to worry about looking over my shoulders anymore, at all, to see if who's trying to get at me, who's trying to jack me, or what police is going to try to come and arrest me at all. So when I look at all of those things, then I look for the cons that might come with this adjustment. The cons could be, well, they're gonna use your past against you, so why make the change anyway? No one's gonna believe you that you can change, so all of this, back talk can come in my own mindset, not necessarily saying that somebody's gonna do it or say it, but in my own mindset, and make me not want to make that change. But I knew I had to override it, and I overrode that and make that change, and I'm thankful for making that change, so therefore I was able to heal properly from walking away from that entity, and I think that we have so many different entities of things that that we are attached to, and we have to pick one, pros and cons on both sides, and make the adjustment, and then I think that helps.
I agree. No, we definitely got to stay away from the negative talk, the self-talk, and speak life into ourselves. I think that's the problem with a lot of us, is that we have a lot of negative talking um, in regards to whatever your flaws or disappointments you have in yourself, and we were raised to kind of have that negative sabotage, not to be positive, not to
Yeah.
push that love into each other, or even into yourself. We weren't taught to really love ourselves.
Yeah.
It was more or less of the perception of who we're supposed to be in society, So I think it goes back from our youths of not really knowing who we are. We're broken as a child from our parents, from fitting in the politically correct way of even being in schools. Not people's, but kids' spirits are being broke,
Yeah.
from being beaten early or molested, not having that love in the family, to
Yeah.
where we lose our self identity, especially when we get into this world and we get into relationships. We put up this mask of who we pretend to be in front of somebody, but we're not even real with ourselves, because we can't even be ourselves because we don't even know how to be ourselves.
Yeah. And I think that with the idea of the village being removed in the equation, where it takes a village to raise a child, I think that also has a damper, because that's been too much pressure on a parent to really stand, and raise the child properly, be available for the child, or even have the attention the child needs, so when that sector has been removed, it's kind of hard, and so then the child is left alone. Parents got to be alone because they have to provide, for the house and all of those things. And so when a child is left alone to be by itself and goes through all of these different angers and situations and all this, and have to
Getting
grow up
involved
in
in
that.
games.
Yes, and looking for attention, and hey, then that's when it is so that they get themselves into a situation that they might not be able to get out of. They're more easier to sample on, alcohol, drugs, and all of sex, like you were saying, and all of these different things, and then hard to heal from those things, So healing, man.
Healing is definitely a daily journey. It's not nothing that is something that is fast. And it's not nothing that happens overnight either. You know, healing is knowing when you have a problem with yourself, there is an issue, you recognize it. You have to forgive yourself, you know, for whatever wrongdoings you have done in your life, or what you've done to others. You know, we also need to understand that a lot of our negative traits were kind of taught to us. You know, it goes from generation to generation. These are generational curses.
Yes.
You know, and we need to acknowledge that even if we had a parent that may have been abusive, or molested, that parent went through something from their parent. You know, it is something that is a taught behavior, and it's being passed on through each generation.
Yeah.
And which leads us here today within hate. I mean, I can't speak for everyone's family, but I wasn't brought up in a loving home, you know. Being taught love, support, being your sister's keeper, you know. If anything, it was total opposite, you know, negative, alcohol in my household, you know. I don't think that there was really that support and love, and I think that is what a lot of families are missing in a household. Even dealing with their kids is showing that support system, that love, and patience.
Yeah.
You know, we all have our own identity. That's
Yes.
what makes us unique.
Yes.
But our whole identity have been kind of stolen from us from being a young kid by being broken of the perception of how we should be in front of individuals.
Yes. I know, right? I know. I think that drama, just the word drama, has taken over our livelihood. There has to be some kind of drama going on, because that's what's beautiful. There has to be some kind of anger going on. That's beautiful. That's, you know, like there has to be some kind of situation, like you said, hate. Like, this things is what's fueling our everyday life, you know, and it minimizes the love that we're supposed to be having, you know. If somebody sees you happy, they feel some type of way. They're angry because you're happy, you know.
And they want to dim your light.
Yes, they're angry because you're smiling. They're like, what you smiling at? Why are you so happy, you know? And so you get this attack to try to shut you back down because you are doing your best to elevate, you know, in the most healthiest way possible, you know. And so when you're being attacked and then you feel alone, oh my goodness.
But what is so sad is because that's when, you know, we should be uplifting each other. You know, when we see a weak attribute in yourself, you know, that's when, you know, real love, or a real family would be there to support that weakness, to help you become strong in that weakness, you know, not tear you down even more.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of tell a little story, I guess, from one of my examples, you know, when I was a little kid, I had a stuttering problem. So I think it kind of dimmed my light my whole life of me not being able to express myself correctly in front of people, because I couldn't even finish a sentence, you know.
Yeah.
So by the time I got to school, let alone my sisters and my cousins and them, boy, they would laugh at me. It made me feel like horrible when I was little, you know. So by the time I got to school, I had no confidence. I wouldn't want to speak in school, you know. And that probably had a reason why I didn't have too many friends either in my life, because I was scared to speak. And it's funny, now that I'm older, here I am on camera talking.
Yes. So how did you transition? How, you know, what did you end up doing, you know, to heal from that part, you know, and for you to be the woman that you are today?
Man, I think I held my tongue for so long, you know. I lost myself, you know. I found myself finding relationships to where I gave my energy to that person, you know. I don't know. I wouldn't speak.
Okay.
It's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
So, you know, and then the way I was raised, you know, a man is the man of the house. So, I would allow the man to be a man, and I would hold my place as a woman of not speaking my piece.
Yeah.
So I lost myself in the process. That's some shit, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
And here I am discussing it.
Yes. So would you say that right now is part of your healing process, of that situation that might have happened so long ago?
Absolutely, it's a part of my healing process because, man, I was considered weak. You know what I'm saying? To allow someone to speak for me, and me not being able to be myself. The perception of being that woman, of staying in a woman's place.
So did you feel like you did not have a voice?
Absolutely.
Okay. And now you're talking.
Now I'm talking.
Already.
And now I'm speaking my feelings.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Something I held for a long time.
There's no age when it comes to healing. Like there's no age where it's like, okay, well, I'm this age now, so I guess I don't have to heal anymore. Like you could be any age, whether you are, 20 years old, 50 years old, 80 years old, and still heal, and still heal, because that healing, when you go through that process of healing and then you look back and reflect and look where you've transitioned from, you be like, I like this, and it does feel good.
You feel liberated, like you just let go of all this baggage. That's how I felt like I've let go of everything, that I've allowed to keep me in a box or
Yes.
not to express my feelings properly, because I've always been the people pleaser. I've always wanted to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
I was that person. If I seen you feeling bad, I felt it.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to make you happy or whatnot. To where I would push my feelings aside. But
Yeah.
I understand now that I come first. And if I don't come first, then there is a problem. Because if you don't love yourself fully within inside yourself, how can you love anyone else fully?
Yeah.
And then as you don't love yourself, you're allowing someone else just to run all over you. And that's what my story is all about. I've been ran over,
Wow.
by numerous of people. I can't even really sit here and say that I've had a healthy relationship with anybody.
Yeah. That's a
And
whole...
to really wake up one day and realize, have you ever really had a healthy relationship? That someone really loved you or really wanted to see the best in you?
I think that's a new thing right now where a lot of people are realizing that they never really had a healthy relationship. Like a lot of people, because we never really saw it, we never really heard it, we never really felt it. We've seen the magical movies,
Man.
So where the princess is locked up. So you're a girl, a little girl, and you're being told, if you stay in this little room, right here, don't worry, don't go nowhere, don't do nothing, just stay right here, and your knight in shining armor will bust through the doors and come and get you.
Prince Charming, huh?
Yes, and before you know it, you'll be happily ever after.
Man, I'm still waiting for my Prince Charming.
What? I mean, and then so a guy is like, okay, dang, if I want her, I gotta go through hell to get her. You know what I'm saying? So in a man's mind, it's probably like, dang, I gotta go through this, I gotta go through that, I gotta go through these hoops and loop, and just to get her, and it's not that. And I think personally, being able to see someone and looking at the person as a human being, not an object, and actually having a conversation. In my own thought process, a conversation is traveling through the person's inner being of self. Like, what is your story? What happened to you what happened there when you were 2 years old, and when you were 16 years old, and when you were 22 years old, like, and getting to know the person, and vice versa, because then once you know a person, that's a whole nother level. But we have to heal from so much other stuff,
Man.
acceptance issues, anger issues, abandonment issues, name it. Like we have been through hell and back, and don't have that healthy concept of who we ought to be. Most people don't even know who they are themselves.
That's very true.
So healing to know thyself, breath of fresh air for sure.
Man, absolutely.
Yeah,
You feel so much better, because when you're not healing and you're in pain, you feel like baggage on you. I mean, man, I had anxiety so bad. It was just horrible. I've never experienced anxiety in my life, but as the pressures of the world, the people you're around, and I'm real firm in energy. So I felt the energy of others. I felt when the people that should have been there for me, I felt it. I felt that they weren't there for me, They laughed, Boy, I mean, shit, I really was treated like a fucking peasant.
yeah,
When people see that you are going through some things in life,
yeah.
they're not here to uplift you. They're here to laugh and talk behind your back and
hopefully watch you fall.
absolutely.
Yeah,
They want to see you fall.
yeah,
Because there's so much hate out here. It's not love out here. And this is with your own family,
yeah,
They're not here to love you and support you and uplift you.
yeah,
I mean, I can't speak for everybody's family, but a lot of families are not here to support.
yeah,
And some of your friends ain't either, because quiet as it's kept, they're hating on you.
yep,
Let alone some of your spouses or the people that you're even sleeping with don't even want to see you be happy
yeah,
or see you prosper in life.
yeah,
There's so many snakes in the grass around here. It's ridiculous.
yeah,
So when you see that you're involved with negativity like that, and you're wondering why you're feeling bad, but I think once you let go of all the haters and quit trying to fit in the circle or the perception of what people see you as, and be yourself and change your ways, it feels so much liberating. I mean, just to even be, within your energy, is totally different from being around other people. You know who's for you and who's against you.
yeah, yeah. I know before being a gangster, where obviously I had acceptance issues, and then after gangsterism, where I healed from the acceptance issues. Man, that in itself it was a process as far as, knowing that I no longer need somebody else's approval of me. So I'm going to exist no matter what I look like, I don't care, like if I look like just a regular t-shirt kind of person, or I'm driving back in the day we call it a Yugo, if I'm driving a Yugo or a Pinto, right? I guess a Pinto was not that eye candy type vehicle, right?
No.
So if I'm driving a Pinto, I don't look my best, I do not care. I don't care if I had a stain on my shirt. That stain can be there until I'm done for the day with it, and then I can kindly take it off and put it for washing. But I'm not going to be like, oh my God, all frantic. Oh my God, no one can see this on me. Because here's the thing. We all can get made up, right? I clean up well. If I need to clean up, I can clean up. So we can clean up. But imagine the beautiful reception you get when you're cleaned up, right? Compared to if I have a stain on my shirt, I'm not looking but I'm still the same person, and I'll be treated different. So I'd rather be on that level of my rawness and not caring. It's not even a thought of how somebody else will look at me, whether they accept me or not, Because if you're not willing to get to know who I am, the new me, after my healing, well, let's not waste each other's time.
Man.
I'm good, because when I'm cleaned up, and you see me from afar and you're like, yes, that's what I want. Or I want to be next to that person. Who is that person? I'm still the same me. But because you are not in that space to be able to get to know me within myself first, I might not give you the time or day or energy. I'm in my own flow because I'm about to go meet somebody else who's also cleaned up, where we're on the same level of frequency, that where we have the same kind of understanding, and we're gonna roll in that essence. But if I don't know you, I don't know you. So
I feel you on that. I mean, because that's where I'm at in my life. If you ain't meeting me on my level now, I'm good on the low vibrations, the negativity. And of course, it's not about my appearance because I can care less what someone even thinks about me anymore. I can go outside, and I even laugh at myself sometimes, even when I go to the grocery store, because a lot of women, they get up and put on makeup and do all type of things to go to
that's
the
a
store.
grocery store, yeah. So you don't do that anymore?
Huh?
Well, you say you don't care.
I mean, because I can go in there looking like Mr. Brown. I mean, I might have on some checkered pants and maybe a brown shirt. I'm just all disorganized,
Okay.
But I'm cool with myself,
Good?
yeah.
That's what's up. Because most people can't do it at all, So the fact that you can do that, that's high five for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because most people can't do that. They gotta, just to go into a store,
Gotta get up and get ready just to go to the store.
Yeah.
Not this lady.
Good. That's
so
good.
when y'all see me at the store, don't be laughing and talking about me, but I don't care.
Well, if they laugh, they gotta go and humble themselves and find themselves. Because they want you to be laughing. They're being honored to see you in their presence.
I'm just tired of looking in in this glass window that everyone puts everyone into. You should be a certain way. Just be yourself, and
Yes.
once you're comfortable in your own skin and you're not worried about what no one's saying about you, I think you're at pretty much a good point of healing in your life,
Yes.
And I mean, man, I've been through some things in my life, but I feel pretty damn good, and I'm glad that I went through everything that I went through, because it really showed me how hurt I was, how I suppressed myself, and not even knowing at that time how much I suppressed my emotions of not loving myself the whole time, to where I'm at now, to where I'm loving myself. And I'd be darned for someone to come in and mess up my energy. If I get a phone call and it's negative, I'm getting off the phone. I might not even answer the call when you're calling me the next go around, because you're calling me with that BS, and I don't even want to hear it because you're messing up my vibe.
Yep. I like that. Yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth. I mean, right now, healing is key to your now and tomorrow.
Man.
And remember, whatever you went through in the past, whatever you did or whatever happened to you, does not matter anymore. And it doesn't matter if it comes up today or tomorrow or 5 years from now. Whatever happened in the past, it does not define who you are for nothing. So don't ever one time think in your own brain that your past has anything to do with your now, because that's over with. It's done. When you go through the process of healing, you healed. Yesterday is gone. You have right now, and you have a brighter tomorrow to look forward to. And you just flow in that excellence and watch how everything around you comes. Because when you're free, guess what? Other people want to be next to you. You know what I'm saying? You draw in all of this beautiful energy. Checking you out, looking at you, and be like, dang, that person is always the same, always cool, always this and always that. And you'll be amazed just how many other people you'll meet that's on the same level, that you aspire to be under and or be like or be with, and how you connect and you grow in excellence. So don't give up on yourself at all. It doesn't matter what you're going through right now. You have that power to make a difference right now, to heal from that. And if you think, if you have any kind of like doubts or fear, leave me a message. Leave us a message. We will look at it, and we will definitely get back with you and let you know how you can now step up to the next level, so that way you can heal. Because definitely you will be attacked in all angles, but it cannot stop you, and it will not stop you. And you could be glowing, flowing in excellence, and being the man or the woman that you ought to be, in a happy place. So don't forget that. Just know that You have that power in you. You know, it's not an easy process, no doubt, but it's definitely doable. I've done it. She's done it. You know, and we're still growing. So
Yeah, healing never stops. It's a journey. It's a lifestyle, of just loving yourself. Because once you start loving yourself, you'll just start overflowing to everyone else. You're not going to let no one hurt you anymore because there's going to be boundaries and you're not going to allow that person to come and hurt you. Because if you're allowing people to hurt you and disrespect you, then you're not loving yourself
yep,
and you're not healed
yep.
because you're allowing this negative to transpire in your life.
And you're allowing people's what's the word I'm looking for, to interfere with that. You're allowing people's opinions of you and thoughts of you to interfere with your healing. You gotta push them to the side, push through it, and heal yourself. And once you heal yourself, guess what? Now you can be a vessel to heal others around you, because they're gonna come to you and be like, "How did you do that?"
Mm-hmm.
Be like, "Oh, let me tell you." Well, how did you do this? Oh, let me tell you. And you share, your gifts and how you did that.
Your knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah.
And then you just attract people that are healed with you, and then at that point you will realize who your people are because they want to see you do good. They're not going to give you that negative talk. They're not going to make you feel some type of way. They're going to embrace you and uplift you even further. Like you said, elevate more. That's where we are in life, is to elevate to a higher level, not to
Yes.
stay here. When you get around negative people, that's all they want to do is keep you in that negative, stagnant energy and space because they're hurting as well.
Yes. Yes. So cool. Well, if you guys have any questions, any thoughts, or even want to share opinion, by all means, do so. Post it, and we'll definitely get back to you. And just remember, like, you are valuable. You are worthy. It does not matter what anybody have said to you. It does not matter. You have to have your own new identity of yourself. You're no longer going to be part of how everything has been in the past. You are you, and you're your new self, and you're going to be incredible regardless of what everybody else thinks. And you have support to support you. You have people that actually care about you, that you can do this. And you do it, and we do it.
Yes, you do.
So
we are here for you.
Yes.
Be yourself.
Yes.
Be good to yourself. Love yourself.
Yes.
Sit at home for a while. Look at the things that you don't like about yourself. Make those your strong points. And be good with it. And then the next time you allow people to come into your life, you won't allow them to bring these negative thoughts or feelings again in your life, because you're going to be cool with your crazy ideals or who you are as a person. That's what makes you authentic, is being who you are and not someone's perception of how you should be in front of the world.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me again.
Thank you for your words.
Thank you.
It's definitely appreciated. So, well, like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, and look out for some other things that we got. We have some things in the works, so it's coming, which we'll announce it. Go to If It Inspires, that's ifitinspires.com, and subscribe to that website, and we will definitely like stay tuned with you, because that's what it's all about, us working together as a unit for the greater good of our now and our tomorrow. So in the meantime, have a wonderful day. One love, big hugs, and until next time, peace.
Bless.
All right.